Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm starting to dig into the summer photos for real. And these photos were taken when we went back home from after having visited my mother this summer. And for a couple of years now we've been talking about making a stop in Strängnäs, which is a really old town just in the middle of central Sweden. And we've been driving through, and we've been driving by at a distance, and we have seen this pretty city like from the inside of the car, and we have said that we need to stop there. It seems to be a nice place. So this year we had some trouble getting through Stockholm because of the traffic situation, so we decided to, on our way back, we would go a different way, and then it was the perfect opportunity to drop by Strängnäs. And we got there, and it was a lovely summer weather. It was so warm, but it was kind of, threatening clouds at the edges, a bit further away. And we stepped out of the car, we got ready to kind of roam the city, and we went for a walk just by where we had left the car. It was the harbor area, and we climbed up visiting this mill. And this is the real old part of Strängnäs town, and this is the mill was the first mill on the site was actually built in 1630, and this it's not the same mill as on the photo. This mill was built 1855, and it's been in the municipality ownership since 1918. Sorry. And you could go right up to the mill, and from science there I learned that they have different events there, and you can like cultural stuff like music evenings, and also viewings of the actual mill. But when we were there it was closed up, but we got to walk around it and take photos and just enjoy the scenery and also the view over the harbor. So I took some really nice photos of the mill and of us walking up to it on these cute little streets of Strängnäs. So this is the 5 photos of this spread. If you've been paying attention to what's been happening on the video, I've had some real problems with what to do with this page. I have tried to flip patterns over, I have completely changed the patterns, and I obviously ended up with a cardstock as a background to complement the red mill. And yeah, it was hard, and I remember that I didn't want the mill to look pale, and I didn't want the yellow of the door to go away either, so I decided to make the page red and then use the yellow as the border around my photo block. The stuff that I'm using is the decorations from, or the die cuts that I cut out from the memorandum package, and then I'm also using bits and pieces from the I Am collection, I think. Simple Stories. So that's what's happening on the screen. When we had been to the mill, we just walked down the small hill, and we saw all these beautiful views, and I took lots of photos, and we walked by the harbor, the bridge and everything, and it was just wonderful. And we started to become a bit longing for ice cream. So we went to this lovely ice cream shop and we bought huge ice creams. And then we walked to a park and we sat in the park and we played Pokemon Go and we had our ice creams, and we had gone perhaps half through our ice creams when it started to rain. And it wasn't just like one drop or two, it was 25 millions drops of rain. So we got to cancel our whole stay in this town. I was so disappointed because it was so pretty and I wanted to see more of Strängnäs, obviously, but it was just pouring down, and we got back to the car and we drove away, and it was raining, so we couldn't drive the speed that we wanted to. So it was one of those. It happened, and we couldn't do anything about it. And tough luck, we need to change plans, and we just drove through the rain and got back home earlier than we had expected. So yeah, it was a reason to come back to Strängnäs, I think, because it was lovely, and I would love to see the other part of town with their enormous kind of almost like cathedral style church. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I collect churches, the big ones. I think they are magnificent, and I think that the architectural styles of churches are one that we really need to learn more about, and because it's such a huge part of our culture. Yeah, and they are there, and they are witness of days past, and also about tremendous skill in building and design. So they have one of those really huge churches in Strängnäs, and someday I want to visit it, but it didn't happen this year. But I got to visit this mill anyway, and that was also very, very, very nice. Now I'm speeding up the video a bit because this is taking me forever. This was a pure struggle. I had been going through the whole pile of my 400 summer photos. I had sorted them out into piles of different occasions, and I've even started planning some layouts, what to do. I was kind of, I'd been longing for these photos for 2 weeks, and now I finally had them, and it was overwhelming. Yeah, totally overwhelming. It instead of like giving me lots of inspiration and lots of these ideas, it kind of just froze everything. It was so hard, and I didn't know what to do, and I felt guilty that I had ordered this many photos and I had forgotten how to scrapbook, and yeah, it was one of those sad creative moments. It wasn't creative at all. It didn't happen. But yeah, you've seen the process. I struggled, really I struggled, and finally I ended up with something that I can put in my album. It's not the best layout I've ever done. It's not in a million years, but it's a memory. It's in my book now, and it shows a very it shows an important part of this day, and the fact that we got to go there after having planned that for some while, and it started off so good and then it ended. Yeah, I'm using my Jelly Bean alphas. I still love those. I wish I continued making them, but I think that most people don't like that they are not adhesive, and that you need to go through that bag all over again when you, instead of just flipping through a sheet of alphas. But to me those were wonderful. I love them, and I wish that they made them more in more colors and over a longer period of time. But I have a couple of colors left, and some of them even have vowels left, so I will be able to use them for some while. And I'm happy that some of them are I can change them. For example, on this layout I needed R, and that happened by cutting apart an N. And that's something that I appreciate a lot with these clean fonts. I'm using my new version of applying text alpha stickers. I'm placing them on paper and cutting them out so that they get a little bit of border around them, and I'm using that for the date of the photos. And now it's time to take a step back and look at the result. And yeah, it's not the best page I've done, but it's a memory in the book, and I'm not overly disappointed with the outcome. So this is the finished page. Those cameras there are really pretty. They come from the Chimel collection Starshine, and I like those. I will be using lots of them on my summer layouts from this year, I think. Really pretty. And some feathers and butterflies. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye!